Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo Podcast. My name is Jemma, and with me this week I have three of Pure Nintendo's greatest members. I have Kirk. Welcome back, Kirk.
Glad to be here again.
And you brought some friends this week, not alone.
Yeah, no one abandoned me. Well, no, Trevor still abandoned me, but
Trevor still did, yes.
Yeah.
But we do have Justin. Welcome, Justin.
Hey, good to be back.
And Katey. Welcome back, Katey.
Hey, everyone.
Thanks for joining me again this week. And this week we're going to go through a few games, including, of course, Pikmin 4, which is kind of the game of the moment because it's just come out. But we're going to talk about a little bit of news and other games that we're playing. And I wanted to start things off with a bit of an interesting news piece that I saw during the week. I didn't know if you guys even saw this or not, but it was the 40th anniversary of the Famicom almost a week ago. So during the week, early last week. And that was 1983. The Famicom launched in the US. Sorry, not the US, Japan, in July. And I thought, that's crazy. That's astounding. And I know it came out 2 years later, I think, in the US, and then a year after that in Europe and Australia. And I thought it might be fun to just talk about a few NES or NES memories, because I think we all, well, I joined the Nintendo fandom via the NES. How did we all fare with that? Especially, I think I know Justin might have had some experience because we talked about the Zelda titles a while ago. But Kirk, did you have an NES back in the day?
I did not have one myself. That came out when I was in college. In fact, I think I remember it was my freshman year. At least that's when I first started playing it. I still owned an Intellivision. I took my Intellivision with me to college.
Okay.
And I don't think anyone ever was willing to play it with me because the NES was out by that point. But yes. I do remember going down to my friend of mine had it, and we would spend quite a bit of time playing a game called Jackal.
Oh, Jackal's fantastic.
Yes, I will always remember that. And I'm surprised I have never seen that updated or moved anywhere else. It may have been an it, but if they put that up on Nintendo Online, I would play Jackal again.
Yes.
One of those baseball games that was a wrestling game, and I toyed around with the original Zelda a little bit, but I don't think I put a lot of time in it.
Yeah. Jackal. I don't know Jackal. This is a run and gun type of situation?
Kind of like it was. You were really far away from the action. It was top down, and I believe you were moving up the screen. It wasn't like a side scroller left to right. And
cool.
Various enemies would come down, and you could get in a Jeep and drive it around, maybe.
Yeah.
And basically just attacking things as they're coming at you from the top of the screen.
Right. Okay. And it was a Konami game, actually. So yeah, maybe they'll announce something. Who knows what could happen, right?
Oh yeah, they're having that event, that media event. They're going to announce Jackal. It's going to be very exciting.
It could be. It's all coming together. It's all falling into place, right? Well, yeah, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. And Justin and Katey, do you want to speak briefly about the NES? Because I know Justin you've got a couple of older siblings who probably had it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was born in '86.
Yeah.
So, but I played the NES quite a bit when I was probably 5, 6, 7, and then still played some here and there. And Jackal was a favorite of ours. It was amazing because it was co-op. It was local co-op.
I was about to ask if it was co-op. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It reminded me of a lot of those scrolling shooters at the time. Like typically you were in like an airplane, like 1941, 1942, the spaceship or something. Like those were really popular, but this was really unique in the sense you were on the ground and you were, taking the Jeep around it, and your buddy could have another Jeep, and you could get various weapon upgrades. You could rescue hostages, these like prisoners of war in these little areas. You'd get them to extraction points, and so you could actually lose, buddies that you're rescuing. Like if they got shot, then you wouldn't get as many points when you extracted at the end. And anyways, it was really cool, and you fought kind of like larger enemies, like big ships, or very similar to what you'd fight in those scrolling shooter games. But yeah, Jackal was awesome. I remember Mickey Mousecapades. I don't know why that's jumping into my head.
It sounds familiar, but I can't picture it at all. So
that was a really fun game that we had growing up. Of course, Mario Brothers 3 and original Mario Brothers, Super Mario
Yep.
Brothers, Duck Hunt. So many fun things there. We had a Power Glove.
Cool.
That was pretty fun to tinker with.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was fancy.
Did you feel like Thanos when you put the glove on?
Yeah, I always did that line from the movie The Wizard where you put it on and it's like, I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. You know? I love in the 80s when bad was good. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
yeah, we had Rad Racer, I think.
Yeah.
RC Pro-Am. RC Pro-Am was an early Rare game.
Right.
Banjo Kazooie and GoldenEye, all that stuff. That same Rare. So.
Oh wow, cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I didn't really know that. What about you, Katey? Did you experience the NES back in the day?
Nah, I missed the NES. My first experience with gaming was the Super Nintendo. So I just missed it, but my older sisters, I think, got to play it. But they played the SNES more than the NES.
Yep, that's cool. And it's a pity Trev isn't on because he has an NES, right? Like he still actively plays it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think well that's awesome. Thank you. I think we've got some good games there to inspire us to go and hunt down if we haven't still got an NES. I'm guessing Justin hasn't because you've sold all your old systems. I'm pretty sure I still have mine somewhere at my mum's house. I need to dig it out. I keep saying that and I haven't. And I don't even know if it would work. You probably need some sort of adapter these days for a modern TV, right? Or do you literally need an old TV?
You can get some adapters, like even modern TVs. Some of them will still have the yellow video connector. And there's an adapter there you can get. So yeah, you should be able to still connect them up.
Yeah,
I have a Lego NES, but that doesn't.
Oh, yeah. And Kirk keeps mentioning things he has in his basement, like some sort of old Mac and some sort of pinball machine. Do you have an old Intellivision down there?
Actually I do. I have an Intellivision, and then I have what was called the Intellivision 2, which was just kind of like a different model that played the exact same games. Neither one of them work.
Oh, okay.
Right. One of them, the controllers are shot, and they weren't replaceable back then. They were hardwired in. So
right.
You had to what they call the circuit matrix. You had to take the controller apart and get this circuit matrix of like plastic. I don't even know what it is, and shove it in there. And the other one, the games don't play. So.
Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe one day I'll get smart and cobble them together into one working system. I have a lot of games, so many games.
Yeah.
Just can't use them.
Wow. It's like a little museum at your place.
Yeah, if you go back into the storage area of the basement. It's not a well-presented museum.
That's cool. Nice. All right. Well, thank you. That's a bit of a trip down memory lane for the NES. Well, it's the Famicom. Let me just reiterate. Famicom celebrated its 40th anniversary, but still, we obviously played the NES in the West. So, yeah, and there's a lot of fun memories. I mean, it was the first system I ever had as a child. My dad brought it home. My sister and I played it. My mum played it. And Zelda and Mario and Duck Hunt, I guess, were the big three at the time for us. So super fun times. And I love hearing about all those games, Justin, that you played. And I really kind of think, like I said, Jackal is overdue for a reboot. It sounds really good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's move on to a more modern title. Specifically Pikmin 4, which has just come out. For you guys, it's actually just come out today since we're recording Friday night for you. And Kirk, do you want to kick things off? Because I think you've managed to steal away a few hours with this one this afternoon.
Yes.
How'd you go?
I took my typical trip into Best Buy, and I got Pikmin in my Pikmin tote bag that came with it, which is not a very high quality tote bag, but it may survive 2 or 3 trips to the grocery store.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But yeah, then I spent a few hours with it and have enjoyed myself. It's good. It picked up where the demo left off, and for completing the demo, it gave me 5 bomb flowers, I think.
Yeah,
which
we
didn't
got
really
the same.
explain how to use them, and it's kind of, it's not a lot, but all I did was complete the demo. So do I deserve anything more than 5 bomb flowers?
That is a good question, and we had the very same question because we did the demo, got the bombs, and we don't even know how to use them. So
Yeah.
Oh, we got
I think there was even a point in the game where it was they even suggested, those bomb things would be good to use here. I'm like, well, okay, where are they?
yeah, because in Pikmin 3, certain Pikmin would be holding the bombs. You could, cycle through your Pikmin until you found the bomb holding little guys, and they would, you could deploy them. But that's seems not to be the case now. So.
Maybe when you get to the point in the story where you find them naturally, they'll explain where to use them. So I don't know.
Yes. Mm-hmm. True. What day are you up to currently?
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't get too far. I think I was on 3. I just completed 3 at the end of the demo. But there are quite a few caverns that you discover, because it opened up a new area and there were some caverns, and one of them was 4 levels deep. So I spent a good amount of time down there, but not to give anything away, but it's early enough. I don't think it's an issue. That's where I found the blue Pikmin. So
cool.
I've added blue to my arsenal.
Oh, we have not done that yet. We were doing more overworld stuff. Hayden and I were playing. Hayden's my youngest, and he's a big Pikmin fan. He's actually playing it right now while I'm recording. So. Which is cool, but we do not have the blue Pikmin yet, so we'll have to take that tip of yours. Thank you.
Did you get the multiplayer you wanted? 2-person simultaneous?
No, I was going to talk about that. I wanted to sort of get the positives out of the way first.
Okay.
Yeah. Or do you want me to say it now? Yeah. I mean, we did play together because you can play together, right? But the second player is just a little invisible person who's shooting pebbles, basically. Kind of like, I read this online, actually. It's a good description. It's a bit like Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
The second player can shoot stars.
Targets,
Yeah, it feels like that. It's probably a little bit more fun than I anticipated, in that it's a little bit more than the Mario Galaxy star shooter. It's useful, like it's fun to shoot things, but Hayden even was saying, can you stop shooting things, because he wanted to destroy them with his Pikmin, right? So I was too efficient with my pebbles. And I really just wanted to be a little astronaut walking around. And I have to say, we were talking before the show, we're not sure who's reviewing this game, but if I was reviewing the game, I would have to dock a point for the lack of co-op multiplayer, as in the same as I had for Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I've been thinking about this all morning before the show. I hate being negative, and I'm not negative, because this is so far a really great game. It looks beautiful. There's a lot to do, a lot of exploration. I think the 1-player mode is going to be a real treat. But we had like proper co-op multiplayer in Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which was a Switch title, and now we've got an all new Switch Pikmin game. Why would you not bring that across, that new thing? If people came to Pikmin via the Switch, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, they would expect that to continue. I think I certainly did.
Yeah.
So I am disappointed by that. Sadly. Yeah, but otherwise it's really good. Like, Ochi is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're swimming now with Ochi, Kirk, I'm guessing?
Yes, actually, because there was a point where there were some blue Pikmin in the water, and this was after I'd found them. But I went with Ochi to get them, and Ochi started to drown. And they said he can't swim, and I had to call him back. I was like, I thought for sure he could swim across the water. Maybe it's too deep. I don't know. But then a little bit later on, when I went to start a new morning, what's the main woman that you talked to? Well, one of the castaways said that she's been doing some training, and now Ochi knows how to swim.
Yes.
So
right.
It was just that tiny moment, one section early, where he wasn't able to get into the water, but now he can. So
yes, right. That's where we've done that as well. I don't know any of the characters' names. Is there a Russ, I think, or something?
Yeah, there's a Colin. And I've met a couple of the castaways I just met. I can't remember their names. I should have written all this down.
Yeah, there's a lot of names to remember. I was thinking that last night because we've been joking about Brittany, Kirk, you and I, and Alf. There were only 3 new ones in Pikmin 3, and now there's like a whole cast, and it's like I can't remember the names. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's not just the people who crashed in the ship. There's a whole slew of castaways that you find that bring other things, other abilities in as well. Like I think I just met a florist. I don't know exactly what purpose he's going to serve, but he really enjoys flowers and was exploring flowers, and now he's too scared to do it and he needs your help.
Well, a florist, you'd think, Pikmin is right up his or her alley. Being little flower plant-based critters. Yeah. Cool. So I was going to say that, Ochi is a huge plus in this game. I think he's a really excellent addition. Is it a he? I guess it's a he.
I think they refer to him as he, yeah.
Yeah. But there seem to be others around. Like at the beginning, if you've played the demo, or I suppose if you're playing this game and having not played the demo, Olimar has a green version of Ochi, which has a different name, I think. Yeah. So there's obviously other breeds of dogs. And Hayden has incoming details. He knows the name of the green Ochi. Do you want to tell me?
Oh.
Moss. Its name is Moss.
Okay.
That's right. Yes. Thank you to Hayden.
Awesome.
And he's green, so that makes sense.
Have you guys seen Ochi sneeze?
Oh, I haven't. No.
I think so.
I think I saw a video or something. Maybe it was on Nintendo's Twitter or something. But Ochi had some Pikmin on his back, and there were some Pikmin around him. And there was a little GIF, and he sneezed, and all the Pikmin around him were like, "Whoa!" Like they're all like surprised, and
Oh, that's cool.
It was just fun. It was a real cute animation that they did, decided to do there. But.
Yeah, and Ochi is super cute. That is such a good description because and Pikmin has always been adorable. Really, those little plant creatures are so cute. And like I said, Ochi is a wonderful addition. I love the way the Pikmin just grab onto the side of him when you're walking around. It's just adorable. It is. So I definitely am loving the game. It's just I really wish they had this co-op. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago, maybe when we were talking about the demo, that when Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out, it was summer for us, and it was also we were in the midst of the pandemic, so we spent weeks kind of almost isolated in a lockdown type situation, and we just played Pikmin 3, and it was just the two of us playing Pikmin 3 every day. We'd spend a couple hours together, and we got through the main story, and then we went back and did the hard the hard mode that you unlock after you do the main story. So we loved it enough to do it again straight away, which is a good sign. So anyway. Katey, have you had a chance to try it as yet? I know it's just come out for you.
No, we have the demo. We've had the demo for a while. And,
yeah.
Did
you finish the demo?
I think. Did you finish the demo, Justin?
No, I didn't fully finish it. I played more than half of it, but
yeah. You won't get your bombs then.
No. I'm looking at my bombs. But that's all right.
Yeah,
you've been playing a lot of Zelda.
I was trying to finish it before.
Yeah, cool. Yes, we will.
More time into that too.
There was no way I was going to finish Zelda before Pikmin came out. But anyway, we will definitely talk about Zelda shortly. I just wanted to say also, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Kirk, in Pikmin 4, we were really disappointed that we couldn't use the rush ability. Like in Pikmin 3, you can press X and all the Pikmin rush, right?
Yeah.
But it is there. Have you found it?
I think so. There was, because I remember doing it once and there was a different colored arrow. It wasn't the arrow of the dog. It seemed to be the arrow of the red Pikmin. And then they ended up rushing. And I don't know what I did to make it happen.
So I think it's this Russ character has like a laboratory that you can visit and you can buy upgrades.
Okay, so maybe I did it.
Yeah, maybe.
A move that you learn or something, I guess.
I don't know, but essentially that you collect those little what are they, gems? I don't know what they are. Those blue things that you collect.
Yeah, like diamonds or
Diamonds.
something.
Yeah. You can trade them in for, upgrades, I guess. Like you can make OG fireproof or fire resistant. I don't know if he's fireproof. You can make yourself fireproof and fire resistant. And I think you can absorb electricity, things like that. But also there's a rush ability that you can unlock, which is really cool because we were sort of complaining about that because that was something we used a lot in Pikmin 3. You can obviously rush Ochi, but yeah, until you unlock that, you can't rush your Pikmin to attack or gather or whatever you want to do with them. So it is nice that that's there. That's one less thing for me to complain about. I'm not complaining. It's just the co-op. Yeah. What else, Kirk? Have you experienced anything interesting that you'd like to share?
There were a couple cool things as I was playing. I wish I would have written them down because mostly they're escaping me right now. But I do remember there was one point where I had to cross a body of water, and I had the ice Pikmin. That's one thing I want to say before I forget. There were streams of water shooting up, kind of like geysers, and I thought in order to solve the puzzle, I was going to have to freeze the geyser and then be able to like jump across it or something. So I threw the ice Pikmin at the geyser, and it said that they can't get wet, and it was going to drown.
Oh.
Which I found strange, but I called him back and then threw the blue Pikmin, and it was just one of those things where you had to basically shut off the geyser. They hit it for a while, the water stops, and then you're able to cross. So that's all that was.
Cool.
So don't throw the ice Pikmin at geysers because they don't like it. However, if you throw them in a body of water, of course, the body of water freezes and you can go across. One thing you can do is if there is an enemy in the water, you don't need to attack it with the water Pikmin because if you freeze it, that will freeze as well. And if it's one of those enemies that's like half above it, then you can attack and kill it without it being able to harm you. Because it's frozen as you're standing on the lake. So I did that and felt good about myself.
Is there a timed period for the frozen lake situation, or does it unfreeze? Does it thaw out, or does it stay frozen?
Kind of. It stays frozen as long as you keep your ice Pikmin in the water. If you call them out, then it'll stay frozen for a brief period, but it'll tell you the water's about to thaw. And then almost a second or two later it does. So you have to keep the ice Pikmin in the water if you want it to stay frozen. Okay,
so you do get your ice Pikmin back. They don't.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you lost them for some reason, but it must be that you do temporarily lose them while it's frozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it gives you like a number, like probably how big the body of water is how many ice Pikmin it takes to freeze it.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, we haven't tried that. Well, I haven't tried that. Hayden may have tried that, but I haven't. That's cool.
And there was one boss in one of the, what wasn't a boss, maybe a mini boss, maybe just a monster, down in one of the caverns. It looked like a great big slab of rock, flat rock, kind of like a thick cheeseburger made of rock. And I threw my Pikmin, and they landed on top of it and started to hit it, and it slowly started to rise up. And I realized too late what it was about to do. It basically is just going to flip over on its back. And all the Pikmin that you had on it are going to get smashed. So I called them as quickly as I could, but they were running the same direction that the guy was falling. And it was like, did you ever see the movie Mars Attacks?
Yes.
The absolutely brilliant scene where they're aiming the Washington Monument on the Cub Scouts.
Yeah. Yes.
When it was falling down, that's how I felt. Like this thing just started to fall, and I was looking at my Pikmin, who obviously weren't going to make it. I think only 9 of them ended up dying, but since you have a limited number to take down into the caverns with you to begin with, it still was. It made me sad, but I continued onward.
Yes. Is it the 30 that you have above ground? Is that your limit below ground?
It has different numbers. I don't think you're restricted to 30. In fact, I think I've unlocked enough. I've found like a couple yellow onions, and that increases the number that you're allowed to have above ground. I believe I'm up to 50 now.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, as you go down, they kind of tell you they'll give you a number, but then they'll say you're going to need red, you're going to need yellow, and you can decide if you want to take some extra ones too. But they tell you what will probably be best to have, and then as you go down, you will find more. So if you don't lose anybody, then it adds on to it. Like if your restriction was 30 and you 5, now your restriction is 35.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, you do get to keep adding them as you find them.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I haven't done any of the caverns myself. Hayden, I think, has. But we were doing mostly Overworld stuff together yesterday. Yeah. But we did find a few entrances to them. We're like, should we go down? No, we'll keep going on top here. So, yeah, it looks like there's just a lot to do, which is great. Excuse me. So, yeah, it should keep us busy for a little while. But I don't think it'll keep us quite as busy as Zelda has. And since you were just, Katey, I know you've got some Zelda updates for us as well. But since you were just talking, Kirk, I am interested because you haven't played a lot of Zelda recently. Have you gone back to it at all? Or not really?
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
know
Okay.
every week I say I'm going to.
You do.
This week, I'm not going to say I'm going to because I'm going to be playing Pikmin 4 in my other reviews. So
yeah.
I don't know when. I need to. I miss it.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It is that kind of feeling, I think. And I think I mentioned my other son Harrison. He's started his own profile, and he's now feeling that same draw where it's like, I just can't wait to play Zelda again, right? You're just thinking about it all the time, so it is addictive like that. But I do have an update as well. But Katey, how's your Hyrulean adventure going lately? Because you were trying to finish it before Pikmin, didn't happen.
I'm actually almost there. I have
cool
3 more shrines to get, 2 more light roots, and then I'm to Ganondorf.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, she's been getting everything.
Yeah, I've got a couple armor. I got the whole gloom suit, and it upgraded. And
wow, you are doing very well. So you've got 3 more shrines. You mean you've got 147 shrines then, out of 150?
Yeah,
is that right? Yeah, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah, they're really well hidden. Some of them. Some of them I was like, I have to look this up. I have been all over this mountain. I cannot find it.
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool. So do you think this is the week then that you'll take on Ganondorf, or are you putting that off a little bit?
So I put my goal as in to get all the shrines and get all the light roots and then go for Ganondorf. So now that I'm very much close to that, I'm like, oh, now I have to make good on that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah,
but
previously.
I'll come up with an excuse like, I need better weapons. I'll go get some more weapons.
You'll take them easily. With all the and...
Follow Justin's lead, flurry attack.
Practice my flurry attack.
Yeah. Justin, what was your strongest weapon that you took into your battle in terms of stats?
Probably the Master Sword. Yeah.
Right.
That was probably but other than that, I did have some things that could fuse that were decent power. But yeah, not much. Yeah, the Master Sword. Thankfully, the Master Sword does not cool down when you fight Ganondorf. Like you can just keep using it the whole time. So
cool.
So I basically didn't use any other weapon for Ganondorf.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you have any tips for other good fuses for weapons? Because I'm finding I do have a lack of powerful weapons at the moment. I just can't find anything good. What's your tip for best fuse for a weapon?
Katey would probably know more fuses than I do there.
Yeah.
What are some of those fluxes?
I haven't fused anything with the fluxes because I had to use their parts to upgrade my gloom suit. But any kind of like spear or jabby weapon with any of the Bokoblins horns. No, Moblins.
I can't say that either.
They do pretty well because you can be really fast with them.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be as powerful, but you can be real quick and you can jump around and get several stabs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to start fighting like bigger like enemies to start getting better weapons. Or better, horns or parts.
Yeah.
But diamond if you ever find any diamonds are always really good to fuse with anything.
Cool. I don't know if I have diamonds. I might have one or two. I have
Are
lots of
diamonds,
other.
are diamonds ice or are they lightning?
Nah, I don't think they have to.
They don't have an elemental.
They're just durable.
Which is what you want, because
Yeah.
everything breaks otherwise. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any other Zelda related updates for your adventures? Anything interesting you've seen on your journeys?
Well, one thing that was interesting about fusing is that if you fight any of the taluses, like the ice ones or the igneous ones, they'll drop little rock hearts that you can fuse, which they're really powerful, but you can't collect them. You have to have a weapon ready to go to fuse if you want to use it. So like you have to like drop something, find something else, and then fuse it to get it. Or put like, because at first I was like, oh cool, I'll just collect that, and when I find another weapon that I haven't fused yet, I'll just fuse it with that. And I couldn't collect it, and I was like, oh, so you have to do it right then and there. So that was a little annoying, but
yeah.
That's kind of a bummer if you have like all fused weapons, and you're like, oh, I gotta find something random to kind of.
So like you almost want like one that you haven't fused quite yet, just going into the talus battle.
I did wish that you could unfuse things, like, oh, I fused that, or maybe you find a fused weapon and you're like, no, let's break that apart. I don't know. It'd be kind of.
Can you not do that? Oh, you can destroy the fuse material, right?
Yeah, I think you can destroy it, but then you
don't have it.
But you still have to,
which seems like a waste.
You're like, I don't want to waste this.
Yeah, like, I just want to break it into the pieces again.
Yeah, I wish you could do that too, actually. I mean, because when you're using Ultra Hand, you can, take things, like if you've joined two wooden planks together or whatever, you can separate them again. Yeah. But you can't do that with fuse, unfortunately. Not without destroying it anyway, which is a bit sad. Has anyone come across, those weird gloomy creatures that sometimes you find in the overworld, and they're moving around, they have like 4 eyes, and they chase you once they see you, and it's like this gloom circle with 4 eyes sticking up, or hands. Actually, they're hands, I think. Are they hands?
Oh yeah,
they're really creepy, and they're really fast.
Yes.
Very, very fast.
Has anyone defeated one of those?
Yeah.
Yes. And what happened when you defeated it?
I used a whole bunch of bomb arrows. But the crazy thing was that after I defeated it, I got a Phantom Ganon.
Right.
To fight.
Yes.
And I was like, but I just finished killing this.
So that's
just to have another battle.
Yeah, that just happened this week to Harrison, actually, my son. He defeated one with some bomb arrows, and then all of a sudden Phantom Ganon is there, and killed him instantly. So Did you defeat Phantom Ganon?
Barely. I just it was very surprising, so I wasn't quite ready, but I managed to slip out I had enough food to survive it.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Was there a good reward? Like, is it worth us chasing these things down or not really?
I got his sword, the Gloom Sword, which is pretty powerful, but it takes hearts away from you. Mm-hmm. But if you're in the overworld, they'll immediately go back to being unbroken, but you would still have to fill the hearts back up. But so it's kind of a
risk reward.
You get a better weapon, but you also might lose some hearts.
I think it is like a decent damage, like 40 or 50. Something like that. Like by itself without fusing.
Yeah, without fusing, it's like level 40.
And so every time you connect, like hit someone, it takes a quarter of a heart or half a heart or something?
It'll break one heart.
Yeah, so it breaks the hearts, kind of like the gloom does.
So then, and then not until you're back out in the sun will it pop back out.
Oh, okay.
But if you're using it in the depths, then you have to find a light route or something.
Interesting. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, that took us by surprise. We're like, what? Yeah, that's cool. Kirk, you said you have experienced this thing, I heard. Did you destroy it or not? The hand?
Oh,
no. I've just been running from them.
The first time I got caught, because it is really fast. I couldn't get away. The second time was in a cave, and I managed to climb up out of its reach. And just took off. I think Sam ended up doing it in the exact area, and he was able to attack it because it couldn't reach him. So he was able to safely eliminate it. But because he was the one who pointed out that then he had to go up against Phantom Ganon, but I honestly cannot remember what the resolution there was.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether he died or was able to take care of it or just had to retreat.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes. Well, we tried to retreat, but I mean, I was just watching Harrison, but he doesn't have a whole lot of hearts because he's only started relatively recently, so he was very easily taken down by the Phantom Ganon. So yes, but it was just such a surprise. We didn't know that was going to happen, and it was like, what? Yeah, which is cool. It's like this is kind of that game. This is the style of this game. It's just you find something new to look at or do, and then you're taken by surprise. So yeah, one more element of surprise. I guess I should mention my update because I have for weeks now been saying I'm going to make it to a temple, and I was having that issue with excuse me, the whole Tulin situation. So I finally found Tulin, which is super exciting because he was right there. I think I said this to you, and you had the same experience, Katey, where he was just right there. And but I'd given up on that whole mission. I'm just like, I can't find him. I'm just wandering around in the snow. I just don't know where he is. I'm just going to go do some other things. And then I came back. I'm like, no, I've got to do this temple. So found Tulin, unlocked his power, which is really helpful. That blasting that he does. I find his little voice when he says, "Let's go," very different to the rest of Zelda voices. Do you find this? It's very kind of anime. I don't know. It feels like it's cute, like it's cool, but it stands out to me. I don't know if anyone else thought that.
Yeah, it's very, I don't want to say adolescent, but yeah, it's very young and.
Yeah. Which I mean, he is, right? He is a little. Yeah. He's a youngling. So anyway, yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned this. I think this might have been just with Trev and Justin and Kirk during the week, not on the show. But I did I can't remember what the area is called. I'm so bad with the names. But in the lead up to the Wind Temple, you have to go up into the Sky Islands and navigate these kind of. I almost wanted to call it a labyrinth. It's not really a labyrinth in that there are not walls, but you have to find the right path to get to that big big gust of stormy wind, whatever it is, right? That's causing this havoc over Rito Village. And I'd been there. I'd done half of this already previously, like before I found Tulin. And then I got as far as I could and then realized there was a big gap and I couldn't go any further. So I'm like, I'll give up on this. Obviously with Tulin, he can blast you across these spaces much more easily. So it was a bit annoying that I'd kind of done this and then had to do it again. I'm like, what? I've already done this. Yeah. Anyway, so I made it to the gust. I made it to this big wind tornado thing, whatever it is. And I was so excited to go in and finally find myself inside a temple. And I haven't finished it though. I'm sorry to report. I have not finished the Wind Temple, but I am in progress. And what am I doing? Unlocking those gates on the top level of the ship. Excuse me, that you're in. So I've started walking on the ship and obviously using Tulin's power to unlock them. So that's really exciting. But I just can't believe I finally actually made it to a temple after all this time. What is it, 2.5 months since it's been out? So
have you beaten it, or you just
no? I have not beaten it. No, I have not. No, I'm only. I think you have to unlock 5 of those gate things, and I've done 1 so far. So yes. So yeah, but then I'll get to play over the weekend. This is the weekend for me now, so I will get some more time with that in between Pikmin 4. And yes, my goal is definitely to at least conquer 1 temple before the next show. So yes, that's my story. I don't know. I was hoping everyone would be proud of me, but I think it's actually quite sad. Yeah, because at least I don't have 147 shrines to back me up. It's not like I've been busy doing that.
Pretty much however we play, there's always somebody who's posted something on YouTube or Twitter or something that just absolutely shames me in the ingenuity with the engineering of the game, or some person who was able to beat. So
yes,
we're all taking it our own pace and having fun with it. And isn't that really all that matters?
Yes, that's well put, Kirk. Thank you. You made me feel better. I am enjoying it, and I do enjoy my time with it. And yeah, it's just the game that keeps on giving, in a way. It might be nice if it was a little bit more linear. Like I said, the fact that I had been into those Sky Island areas before finding Chula, and I'm like, well, that's annoying. But anyway, it's fine. It is what it is. And yeah, I'm definitely enjoying watching Harrison play it. And he's doing really well. He's behind me, but he's definitely found some shrines that I haven't. So I'm just like, whoa, where is that? I need to go and find that. So that's cool and helpful. So yeah, it keeps, and it motivates you, because I think you like Justin and Katey have been playing separately, so that probably motivates you too. I know Kirk, your son, has also been playing, especially back when it first launched, and so that was, you guys are alternating and maybe feeding off each other as well.
Yeah, we definitely were. I think right around the time that I kind of petered out on it, he did too.
Yeah.
So we'll probably both hit it again at the exact same time, and hopefully be able to finish it around the same time as well.
Cool. Well, that'll be exciting. Yes. I look forward to hearing about that. For now, let's move on to some other games that we're playing. And Kirk, would you like to tell us about something called Garlic? What is this?
Yeah. This is a game. It's been out for, let's see, a couple weeks now, maybe. Maybe a bit longer than that. It's kind of a retro platformer. It's one of those games where they make it hard on purpose. The controls are basic, but you really need to master them and be exceptionally precise in order to be able to complete it. The premise is, it's called Garlic. They don't, I guess, ever really address if you are garlic. Like, you're this guy who has a head that looks more like an onion, really, than
yes.
garlic. But he basically is in love with this cyber goddess who's at the top of this tower, and he has to get to the top of it because he, wants to connect, we'll say, with her. So it's a lot of really difficult platforming. It gets a little more credit. Like, I'm not very good at these games, and they're frustrating, but this one gives you an awful lot of checkpoints. And it's interesting because you're not just going like left to right across, scrolling across a long level. You're going up, but it's sort of like, let's say the old like Donkey Kong games or Pac-Man, where if you move off the right-hand side of the screen, you appear on the left. So the screen doesn't move. You just kind of have to navigate it that way. And you're going to need to in order to make some of the jumps and leaps that you have to get up there. There are some very thin, tiny platforms you need to hit. They disappear. There are, of course, fireballs coming at you. There are various enemies. You don't really have attacks so much as just the ability to charge into enemies. And it's got sort of like an NES visual approach to it, 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever that would be. But they are constantly changing the colors, and there are a lot of homages to games from around that time. Like, you're playing one level, and it looks like this particular game, and then you go to another level, and it's a slightly different type of gameplay. So you can kind of pick where the influence came from as you go along. The colors change, so it changes up enough to keep it interesting as you progress.
Is there a Jackal themed level?
Oh, no, nothing quite like Jackal. Unfortunately, Jackal is so much its own thing that people are afraid to. It's like trying to do a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, right. Okay. True.
So, but yeah, it's a fun game. It's difficult. There's a speed run mode. I went onto YouTube to see if I could find anything that people were doing, and I did find one where somebody completed the game, the speed run, in an hour and a half. It's going to last longer than that, obviously, when you're first playing it, but it's interesting enough that I thought it was worth a mention, and I'm going to have a review of it up sometime this week. But another reason I wanted to bring it up is because it is on sale right now in the eShop, like a 20% off sale. So if you're interested in that type of challenging platformer game, just look up garlic and check it out.
It does sound interesting. I do love a platformer. It's funny you said he looks like an onion, because immediately when you said the name garlic and it's a platformer, I'm like, so is it like Super Onion Boy? You know, that other platforming game?
I didn't play that one, so I can't say for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that sounds good. Justin or Katey, do you have any opinions on this? Any thoughts?
I love some good retro platformers. I really like Celeste, which was kind of, challenging, and of course Shovel Knight, and so yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think I love the fact that you can go off the side and come out. It reminds me of was it Ice Climbers did that, didn't they as well? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And even that Mario and Luigi, whatever it was called, the original. What is that even called?
Mario Bros. Arcade game.
Yeah. I think you could do that there as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, Kirk. Yeah, I look forward to reading that review. I wanted to touch on something. Excuse me. I think it was last week. Pretty sure it was Pokemon Sleep. I mentioned briefly, and I wondered actually, because you went online last week, Justin, and I know you're a Pokemon fan. I wondered if you'd heard of this little app. It's a mobile phone app.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did download it,
right?
But I was gonna use it. So the day it came out a couple days ago, at least in the U.S. And it was like, all right, like it had a reminder of like when you want to go to sleep, and I was like, cool. I was going to bed, and it's like, all right, we need access to your microphone. And I was like, wait a minute, why does it need my microphone? But like, I guess it listens to your, if you wake up, or, that type of thing. And I'm like, I don't know that I want a microphone active all night. Anyways, I didn't do it. But anyways, that's
okay. It's it's interesting because last week I sort of speculated because I couldn't access it. It was more waiting for it to download, like you said, Justin. It came out during the week, so I downloaded it as well. And Hayden and I gave it a test during the week. We only used it one night, like Wednesday or Thursday night or something. And there is a lot to it. Like there's this professor who's talking to you about all these things. And I don't know if you did this as well in the setup process, Justin. Yeah. Did you go through the whole thing? Yeah. So there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of background information. I'm like, okay, I just want to get to the sleep part. But I suppose it's good in that it's got a story and there's things to do and certainly lots of Pokemon to collect. So we did, like I said, we did do it for one night, and it was a bit, I don't know if strange is the right word. I was wondering how it would work. And the way it works is once you've set it up and you put your times in and all that sort of thing, you don't lock your screen or close the app. You leave it open and you just turn your phone upside down and place it next to you on your bed. And then the screen goes dark automatically and it just records your sleep patterns during the night, which is kind of cool, I guess. I guess you need a bit of room because, I don't know about you, but I toss and turn a lot during the night. So I'm very likely to smother it or knock it off or do all sorts of things with it. I also don't really like having a phone right next to my head during the night, but that's just me. But anyway, we did do it and it worked. And then the next morning we, because I guess there's a Snorlax who's kind of the center of attention. And then all these other Pokemon come and join him and you unlock their little sleeping poses, which is really cute. Wow. And you collect. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cute. I think we got a Bulbasaur and what else did we get? We got 3. Psyduck was there. Yeah, there was a Bellsprout, I think. Yes, there's a few who came to join Snorlax in his little sleeping session. And it's quite adorable. So we haven't done it since, but we probably will try it again. It's definitely an interesting little app. And I mean, it does encourage sleep. It gave you a score. This was your score. I think I'd set it to Hayden's bedtime, which may or may not have been the right thing to do because I put the phone down with him, but then I got up and did things and I needed the phone. So it probably didn't quite give an accurate portrayal of his sleep because the phone wasn't resting next to his head for the entire night. So, but it gave him like an 80 out of 100 score for the night, which I suppose is decent. Yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. I don't know. It's just out of the blue, what a random app to have, but yeah. We'll see how it goes. Is it something you're interested in trying, Kirk?
Probably not, especially now that Justin says if wants access to my microphone all night. I tend to always like what the remote controls. You get a TV and it says it wants to record you, so you can speak what channel you want. That's a hard no for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember it asking that, but it must have for me as well. Or maybe Hayden did the setup, just accepted. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like mobile games are already kind of a hard sell for me. It's like
same. Yeah.
Like I already have like kind of limited time to play games, so I just prioritize other games than mobile. But, I think it's a very unique concept, and it's a fun idea. I think like Pokemon has another app where you can like brush your teeth with Pokemon.
Yes, Kirk and I talked about this last week. Have you tried that, Justin?
I have not, but I think these are like awesome apps, like again for kids, like hey, get good sleep, brush your teeth, hey, something that gamifies that. Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta brush my teeth every day so I can get Pokemon. Sure.
Yes. Well, you should use that when the time comes for your child. When
your kids will want to be brushing their teeth 20 times a day.
Yeah,
that's right. I gotta get
on. Stuff's expensive.
Gotta brush them off.
Yeah. I can't believe they didn't use that in that app. I cannot believe they didn't say that. Gotta brush them off. You should be in marketing, Justin. That's right. Yeah, I agree. Though, if it's going to help, especially if it's slightly educational. We did say this last week. If it's helping kids do something healthy or educational, then I think it's worth it. So, yeah, we've been using Pokemon Smile, which is the brush one, for probably 2 or 3 years now. Hayden uses it every night, so yeah, it's really cool. And Harrison used to use it, but he's got outgrown it, I guess. But yeah, anyway. The other game that I'm playing at the moment, and I've only very lightly touched this one, is called Proto Corgi. And this is a review game that I've taken on. It's a shooter. So it's very easy to describe because it's a side-scrolling shooter. And I think we can all imagine immediately what that looks like. I suppose the gimmick is that you're a robo dog, a corgi dog, which is kind of cute. So it's a very cartoony looking shooter. It's chaotic. There's lots of things flying at you. There's lots of things to collect. There's power-ups. From my limited experience, I died a lot and quickly, but it's fun. It's hard to go wrong with a shooter. I'd say there's a score. There's a leaderboard, which is kind of cool. You can put in your name, like the old arcade games, and have your name up there, saying I did well. There is a level creator, I noticed, which is a nice little add-on. I'm not sure how much this game is, but I imagine it's a budget title. So I'll work on my review during the week and see how that goes. But that was a fun little thing that I just picked up for review.
It's pretty cheap. At least right now, it's 70% off. It's $2.09.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
It's normally $6.99. So yeah, $7.
Oh wow! Okay, that's
Redeem
pretty
your
good.
gold coins before they expire.
There you go.
Yes. Wow. I mean, $2. I would say from limited experience, I think it's definitely worth $2. $7. I'd have to play it a little more to find out. But it does have that level builder, like I said, which gives it a bit more longevity. Yeah. But yeah, it's a decent shooter. It's a little hard to decipher between, at least originally, there's lots of things to collect. Like I said, there's fruit for some reason. I don't know why the dog wants fruit, but there's eggplants and carrots. And there's these fish bones, and I thought I had to collect those because dogs eat bones. But no, they attack you. So don't collect the bones. So, yeah. But it's well animated. It looks pretty cool in a retro kind of animated style. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. I do like a shooter, so when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I'll give that a go because I tend to enjoy shooters. I think they're pretty fun usually. Like I said, it's hard to get them. No, I didn't say that, but I meant to say it's hard to get them wrong. It's like you just go left to right and you shoot things. Yeah. So yeah, it's a decent time. And the corgi struck me because Hayden actually, we don't have a corgi, but he seems to really like corgis for some reason. That's like his favorite dog. So as soon as I saw that, yeah, I'm like, yeah, of course I have to try that. That's really cute. I do have to say, I thought it would be 2-player, and it doesn't seem to be, which is a bit of a disappointment. Same with Pikmin 4. But yeah, this one, shooters, I don't know why it's not 2-player. I guess it is a very budget title. But there's like, your corgi dog has this like shadow dog behind you, and I thought that was like a helper. I don't know what it is. It's like his spirit in the robot. I don't actually know what it is, but it looks like there's 2 of them. And I thought, oh, cool, it must be 2-player. You can separate those 2 dogs and you can have 2 players. But no, we could not seem to work out how to do that. So slightly disappointed at that. But anyway, otherwise it looks pretty good. Well, we're almost at the end of the show, but Justin, did you want to touch on something you're looking forward to? I think there was a new trailer semi-recently for Sea of Stars, and I think we're all pretty eager to hear more about this one. It's a bit of a RPG in the vein of Chrono Trigger, right?
Yes, yeah. Which for people that haven't played Chrono Trigger, it is a classic. But yeah, Sea of Stars looks to be heavily inspired by Chrono Trigger, and they even got the composer for Chrono Trigger.
That is so cool.
Yasunori Mitsuda. He worked on Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and also Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh wow!
So he's got quite the resume there. Anyway, so I'm excited about this. The pixel art looks amazing. If you guys go to their website, they actually have a really cool thing that you can do that will show you just how dynamic the lighting system is in the game. Even though, like, most people think, oh, pixel art, it's not going to have, kind of modern lighting and, all of this type of stuff, shadows and all of that. But it actually does, and it's really slick. If you go to their site and you scroll to the bottom, it has this little slider, and it will show you how the day-night cycle works and how it affects the lighting and the pixel art. It's really detailed and fantastic. So it's still kind of that 16-bit style. I mean, but it is obviously looks better. There's fun little reflections and water effects and stuff that definitely makes it look more modern than something like on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, like if you look at that, doesn't that look that amazing?
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm just checking it out as you're talking. It looks so cool. Like
yeah, it's a really cool effect they did there. Anyways, but they have a free demo. So if you guys haven't checked it out,
it's out now. The demo is already out.
The demo's been out for the last couple months. I think the progress transfers over, although it's kind of weird. It's not like, it's an RPG, so it would be kind of hard to have the progress carry over because you're playing just kind of a prologue, right? But in this, you kind of play like 2 or 3 story points. So it kind of plays through some of the initial area, some of the combat. The combat is kind of a cross between Chrono Trigger and like the Mario and Luigi RPG games. So in the sense that, how when you would hit like a button in Mario RPG games or Mario and Luigi games, it would like you'd kick a shell between you and Luigi. And if you kept pressing the A button when the shell came back to you, it would kick it back to Mario and then back and forth. And then it would get faster and faster. But if you kept timing and your timing was good, you could get, maybe 5 or 6 attacks, right? So it's that same type of thing. You have some skin in the game with the combat. You can determine if you land a critical hit, with some of these timing mechanisms. But
Cool.
Lots of combo systems like Chrono Trigger. Anyways, very, very fun. So I'm very excited. And that comes out August 29. So that's
not far.
like a month, like 5 weeks or something. So
yeah.
And I think it's going to be. They announced the price recently. I think it's like $35. So
That's
it's
pretty good.
not. It's not that bad. So. Anyway.
And I assume you've played through the demo, or at least tried it.
Yeah, played all the way through the demo. It does
Cool.
go and do. There's a boss battle at the end too. but just really fun, and it really scratches that itch of like Kirk. What was that game, Chain of Echoes, that you played?
Yes.
What you told me about. It's like that. It skews more like Chrono Trigger style, but it's very similar to that kind of Super Nintendo golden era RPG. Anyways,
Yeah,
Lovely.
yeah, and the visuals are kind of the same, like the highly detailed,
Yeah.
sort of pixelated graphics. And I'm going to say this in their favor. I much prefer the look of this game and Chained Echoes over like the HD 2D games that everyone sings the praises of from like a Square Enix, those kind of games.
100%.
I think these look so much better,
They
much
do.
better than that.
Yeah. To me, like if they ever did remake Chrono Trigger, I wouldn't mind if they did like just do some better pixel art like this, or do something like totally 3D and different. But like that HD 2D stuff that I like, the Octopath games and some other ones too. It's just a little jarring having 3D and then 2D pixel stuff. I don't know. It's like I get that they're trying to connect to the older games that in that way, but like to me, it's like, don't remake it if you're going to do that. But,
Yeah. Jarring is the word I thought of as well before you said that. So I agree. Like it looks nice, but there's something, just off about it. Like it just, it's a bit, I don't know. It's hard to describe, isn't it?
It's like nice lighting and nice shadows, but the characters themselves are kind of muddy and
yes.
Like it's almost like I'm looking at it and I can't find that right point between my glasses and my bifocals. One thing looks right and one doesn't, and I'm bouncing my head up and down trying to make everything look right, and I just can't do it.
Yeah, because they're using like modern like blur, like depth of field effects, but pixel art. And so you're like, I kind of want the crisp pixel art. That's why I like the Sea of Stars. It's like you've got the crisp pixel art everywhere. They're not doing any blurring or any other like weird modern effects on it. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that looks beautiful. And only a month or so away, so we're definitely looking forward to seeing Sea of Stars hit the Switch at the end of August.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention again, Justin. I've forgotten about that because that was I think it was it during a Nintendo Direct 2 directs ago or something? Maybe?
I think so. It may have been featured in one of their indie directs too.
Yeah, it might have been the indie one. Yeah, I remember seeing it somewhere.
It's kind of special enough that I think Nintendo might have featured it in the main direct. It's got a lot going for it. Again, that composer being a part of it, and this is from the same development studio that did The Messenger.
Right.
Yeah, which was another kind of like Ninja Gaiden style of gameplay, but really fun pixel art, and so it's from that same studio. So.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's amazing. Very cool. Thank you very much. Did anyone else have anything else they wanted to cover before we sign off for the show? Any last words of wisdom? No.
Go play Pikmin.
Play Pikmin. Yes, don't listen to my negativity about the co-op. It's still a wonderful game. So I just wish
you've never played a Pikmin game before. Yeah, if you've never played one before, this is a really good place to start. Don't worry about missing 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I love that it looks. Pikmin 3 looked wonderful. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, on the Switch, but this is obviously made for the Switch, so they've taken full advantage. It does look lovely. There's a lot to do, so yeah, definitely worth checking out. I think we're all enjoying it. It's just because I haven't played Pikmin 1 and 2, so I'm not so used to the one-player side of things. I've been a bit spoiled where I've just played Pikmin 3 Deluxe with my son. So for me, it's like I'm missing out on that, but it's okay. It's still really, really wonderful. And definitely check it out. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kirk, Justin, and Katey, for joining me this week on the podcast. And if you like what you hear, please leave us a review on one of the podcast streaming platforms such as Spotify, Amazon, or Apple Music. And you can also check us out on YouTube. If you like and subscribe, we would really appreciate it. You can also leave us a comment. We would love to hear from you. And if you ask us a question on YouTube via comments, we'll answer those questions on the next show. So feel free to reach out. But until next week, Thank you, everyone. Thank you, listeners. And game on, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.